everybody out there. I'm glad you came in to check out what I have to say today. I got up extra early this morning. I just couldn't sleep. It was 4 a.m. I went outside to have a smoke and I saw Venus. Oh my gosh. She is bright. She's looking really nice up there in the morning sky right now if you get a chance and you just can't sleep and you're up early. Anyway, I'm doing this show today because I was highly inspired by a channel called Lavette. And I'm going to bring her thing up right here. Let's go this way. She did an excellent piece on the book of Daniel, chapter verse 2. And she points out a lot of things that are just very inspiring. I highly encourage you to go over and see this video. You'll see why I'm just kind of throwing in my little tidbits here on it too. But she just lays it out really, really well. And subscribe to her. She's just really someone nice to follow. But what I was going to show here with what she was saying, let me bring up a better version to view. Here we go. As you can see, it goes down. Nebuchadnezzar's asking Daniel, please, figure out this dream I had, but he won't tell everybody the dream. It's kind of a weird, it's a weird setup. But anyway, Daniel comes back and he talks about him dreaming of this large statue. The head was gold, the chest and arms were silver, the belly and thighs were of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partially of iron and of baked clay. And she rolls it out really well, how this ties into the age of iron upon the age of Pisces, the combination of, what's going on with us. But what I wanted to throw in also, when it broke down from gold, silver, bronze to iron, I immediately thought of the Kali Yuga. And anybody who follows it, here I'll use this version right now. As you can see, the long year calendar, it spans practically, give or take, 12,000 years. They say 11,500, give or take here. Oh, it does say the 12,000. Okay, because there's speculation on the fine details of how long this long year calendar goes. But if you look at the bottom, we have just been coming out of the Iron Age, and we are going into the Bronze Age in an ascending sort of way. You can see where they marked us at 2014. And this all really started around, as it says here, 1698. And that kind of lines up because the 1600s, the late 1600s, we had an awakening, a renaissance. But it was really the 1700s that took off with these new ideas, these new ways to handle our civilizations. Some were good, some are not so good. As we know today, we're kind of dealing with the period at the end of the sentence on some of these not so good ideas. And I will not digress into them at this moment. But getting back to this calendar, as you can see, there's a gold, silver, bronze, and iron age. And I just thought that was just so interesting how the Bible ties into the Hindu Kali Yuga. Let me take a sip of tea, please. I'm doing really nice here, waking up with the sunrise and a nice cup of tea. Yes. So I just wanted to bring this back around to where Nebuchadnezzar's dream showed the feet of iron and clay, and that was the weak spot. That was Achilles' heel. Isn't that interesting how these different myths kind of tie in with each other? So we have been standing in with the feet an iron age under Pisces, which is a very humanitarian, humility, learning the very humble side of humanity. Pisces is the house of. So that's all well and good, but we got too soft, basically. We just got really crumbly to where now we're moving into a Bronze Age where we're going back to less war, thank goodness, and more focused on something of substance, going into the age of Aquarius, where we are in the I know. It's like we will become more instinctive, more intuitive. The sixth sense will definitely come out in the Bronze Age moving forward. But right now, we're kind of feeling the tug and pull, I think, in our humanity right now, because we're stepping one foot into the new world, but yet we still have one foot in the old. And it wasn't very stable as it is. And I do have to say, I totally agree with Levette and what's the other one? Thales Mythos. They hone in on the fact that when we were in Aries, which is a iron and fire sign, it took over. It didn't let the age of Pisces naturally progress. The families, the thoughts, the way we do things, all stem out of the house of Aries, the age of Aries. And so Pisces really just had a bad start, I guess. Our age, we just had a really rough start with coming away from that, because we just didn't come away from it. Actually, that's the problem. So we've been dealing with an Aries fire type civilization through a water sign age ruled by iron in the Kali Yuga. I mean, my gosh, it was a strange day, was it not? Anyway, I just want to, throw this out. But yes, now we're moving into the Bronze Age. And I know people feel it. That's why we have so much confusion. First of all, we are stepping into the age of Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. And Uranus is really a good planet to shake things up, but it will do it in like upside down ways. Like we're standing in bizarro world right now. And I think it has to just escalate to this complete craziness for more people to wake up to the craziness and say, okay, now we've done that, been there, own the t-shirt, let's move on to a new way of running our civilization and the way we think. We focus on all of the wrong things. We come out of this, like I said, this Aries age, these Aries families where it's what I have and what I can do and how I can strike you with iron. And the whole idea of the Pisces age was for us to find humbleness inside of us and go within, but we didn't. We stayed out. We swam in the Pisces ocean of I have instead of I believe. Basically, that's what's been going on. So hopefully we now can step into an age where we really step back, live more with the nature that we were given, because that's where our true answers are. It's amazing if we just look at what this earth can provide us. We don't need a bunch of plastic goobly widgety things around. You know what I mean? We need to learn to finally grasp the last lesson of Pisces, and that's to be, humble. And you don't, need to own a lot. You don't need to exceed and fly all over the world. And, and speaking of, I'm just going to say a few things that I've noticed lately around here. Fewer airplanes. have been flying over and landing. So the travel industry, the airplane industry seems to have taken a big slowdown. And that necessarily might not be a bad thing. So, yeah, I've noticed that. And at night, I see less pollution in the air, more stars. Yeah, just wanted to put that in there while I'm thinking of it. Oh, and the other one that I found that I thought was very interesting here, I want to point out, with the Kali Yuga placed over the Mexico sunstone, it lines up perfectly. Of course it does. And if you notice, even in the middle of the Mayan calendar, the god is sticking out his tongue, just like the Kali Yuga. It's this. There was a grand civilization before us, and something big happened. They were all connected. But what I thought was interesting with this calendar is it starts talking about the first sun, second. Okay, now in our Native American stories, myths, folklore, they talk about the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth worlds. And some were debating, is it the fourth world we're in, the fifth world we're in, all that. Well, this kind of answers it. It seems like the fourth and fifth kind of happened during the Iron Age here at the bottom. And it says right around, what is it, 489 AD CE, however you read it. That was the bottom. And that's about right. It was the end of Rome. We went into a tremendous dark age for, another 1,500 years. Came out kind of rough, I would say. But when the 1400s hit, we were starting to get a little enlightened again. And the Gutenberg press came out. So now everybody can learn to read, and books were plentiful. Communication was abundant. And then we took off from there to where we are now. And anyway, so I thought this was very interesting with the ages as well. Everything lines up. We are in a cycle. And I don't know what the Bronze Age is going to entail for us. Then I think that's where the two roads are coming up. Do we step back, follow nature, or do we keep pressing on and making all this stuff and half of it isn't good for us? I don't know. So I also wanted to bring in a couple of ideas about the giants here as we're talking about cycles. I've been looking at just a couple of these pictures. Now, a lot of people say, oh, this is fake. It's been rendered. This isn't real. And if this isn't real, they do a darn good job of this, But I think this is real. This is the stuff that they're finding, and they're not really making much of it. You know what I'm saying? They are just going, oh yeah, we found some more. Yeah, they're kind of bigger. Yeah, and you just don't, unless you're really into this and really research this. These are stories that just seem to whiz right by, and nobody is saying too much. And I mean, look at this. That's a darn hard picture to fake. Come on. And if you compare the skeleton's femur to his back, that's how tall that skeleton is. That's a pretty big dude. Yep, they're finding these all over. And do you see the depth of this? I don't know exactly where they're at here. I apologize. That wasn't the point of my story. It was just that they are finding these things. But that's not too deep, is my point. I think that these giants and this civilization with giants was not that long ago. And this is the one that I want to also bring up. This is a recent find. Let me get it rolling here. I'll take that one down. Just moving a couple things out of the way here to get to, there we go. So here we are, Mexico City Airport construction site came upon all of these woolly mammoths. And this happened not too long ago. This was posted just, today? So yeah, they're finding all of this stuff. It's not that deep. It's well preserved because the Great Flood was a lot of mud and it just encased everything, somewhat petrified everything. And those dinosaurs, I'm really saying at this point, dinosaurs weren't millions and millions of years ago. I think the dinosaurs walked with these giants. And hey, some of these dinosaurs were just like, good size hound dogs probably to these giants, or they hunted them and ate them. Yeah, I don't think the whole dinosaur story is correct either. I'm questioning everything. If you've been following me, I'm going to question everything at this point, because I just don't think we have been told the real story. I mean, I think some of the theories were genuine. Some of these people like Darwin, I think he went into the whole thing with good intentions. He was thinking that's where we really came from, was chimpanzees, and morphed into man. I just don't think he had the bigger picture that we do now. We're digging up giants, and even in the Bible, it says, God created us in his image. I think there were giants here. I don't know what our Creator was doing. Got mad, wiped out the realm, and started over again, like they say, the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth worlds. I don't know. I have more questions, I guess, than I do answers when it comes to that. But I'm just so intrigued with all of this. And and lastly, I'm going to bring up this picture here. I have out yet, my little stones, and I put them on Lisa Hauserman's little jar that she gave me. Isn't it so cute? But I'm showing this piece again because it is indeed not petrified wood. We can clearly see there's some kind of bone there. And someone asked the true color of it. It has kind of, I'm going to try and capture it, like a gray to blue to purple hue when you look at it in the daylight on this side. So you can see the bone. That's a bone. That's a petrified bone. And on the other side, I believe, is the intestines of some sort, because you can see, here, let me flip it over. Yeah, you see clearly the holes right here where the intestines or something was. And you can see also too, I mean, I don't know how it sat. I'm not clear what this was, but you can see how the blood let out into, which is true. When when anything dies, the blood, I think it was sitting actually like this, because the blood goes to the bottom. Your blood will go to the bottom of your body and settle. That's what it does when something dies. And that's what it looks like there, you see. And these things were leaching out. I wish I had more pieces to this. Oh my gosh, I wish I had the other parts of this. It's just so intriguing what this is. And then I brought the other pieces my mom had in her collection. She just had a ton of this stuff. And this one over here, you can see lines, and I'm pointing out if indeed that is blood, it was just quickly encased and compressed. Something big happened, I think, and took out a lot of the third world, fourth world, whatever we're in. So anyway, I'm going to end this here on this topic. And I hope you enjoyed this. And please write your comments below. And I'm going to come in with a live stream soon. I'm going to try and I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to try and do a morning live stream early enough for the East Coast people, but not so early that the West Coast can't catch it as well. And there you go. So I hope you're all well, and take care and stay frosty.